Well, g'day everybody and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. Completely packed for work in the weekend. This podcast is brought to you by the new Mazda BT50 SP. It's the complete package. Today on the show, it's the 2-minute warning leading into the first week of finals. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, go down and hit that button, leave us a comment, like the video, all that jazz. If you're listening to it on the podcasts, make sure you subscribe there too and tell a mate. All right, let's get stuck in. This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rinn, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. And Xav you haven't done a lot of filmed work, mate. This is
nervous.
Don't look down the camera.
I'm nervous.
No, just look. What channel is this going to be on? That's when you get. When
Mate,
So this is on our YouTube channel now, which is absolutely flying after a week. A little bit of soft launch.
Me and my mate Selby sat and watched it the other night together.
Oh, we saw that. Selby sent us a message. Big fella loving his own work here.
Old Walter White.
Yeah, I did see there was a lot of people in the comments surprised at what I look like, which is...
Oh, really?
This. And I'm not sure. I think they thought I was like a 50-year-old man.
There is a Walter White thing.
Yeah.
I've never picked that before.
It's the meth.
Yeah.
It's the smell of methamphetamines reeking of it.
It's good to see you back, though.
Oh, thanks, mate. Good to see me back.
From the little issue we had with the meth.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a hard bounce back. Right, so we're into first weekend of finals. The bye round again. There was plenty of content with the AFLW, but
I don't mind it during the week. I didn't even notice during the week.
Really? I thought it lost a bit
Friday,
during the week.
Oh, it was like getting hit with a sledgehammer in the face. That there's no footy.
Was it, mate?
Yeah.
No, it's got to go.
Yeah.
Reward the teams finishing first and second.
I tend to agree. The only argument from a football perspective is that when you would know this, when the clubs have so many players who need some sort of break to be cherry ripe for finals.
Make the grand final and have the week there.
Oh, that's worse.
No, it's Super Bowl.
I was trying to remember. Did that happen last year? It was all a bit of a blur.
No,
was that
might have been.
I think it did.
If there is a
happen last
concussion
year
as well.
Huh?
If there's a concussion as well. Open up the door to people playing. Either get rid of the bye completely or have it before the grand final.
Yeah, I just think you want your best players out there. That's the only argument. But I tend to agree that it can go. It is nice when you work in footy though to have a little bit of a breather.
No.
Taste.
Yeah, well, remind me in a grand final when you could have been done.
Yeah, that's true. Another week. Yeah.
So the way we'll do the 2-minute warning today, how about we get the finals teams out of the way and then get into the rest of them? So we go top to bottom.
I'm a bit confused as it is, mate, because I usually write mine down on something fancy. I went to use technology today and it's gone. So
this is the first time.
This is dog ate my homework.
No.
You tapped it in your notes, you reckon, and then it just disappeared.
Or is that maybe you've pulled a
I wrote
Riley O'Brien and you've accidentally tweeted it?
No. So this is true. So for some reason, my phone number's saved as WA Health in my phone, and I just text shit to myself. Like, well, hang on. Bit of OnlyFans there. No. So that's how I save my notes.
This all sounds very shonky. You're saved as WA Health in your phone.
Bored. Yeah, because I pretended I had COVID. Right. So I pretended I got a message from the WA Health saying I had COVID.
Right.
Yeah,
and then I sent the screenshot to M. So I'm like, mate, I'm done for the week. See ya. Can't help ya. Can't go down south. I'm done. Anyway, that's why it's called WA Health. But I usually see here that last week, Brisbane, Essendon. So I text them to myself.
Yeah, got you. A little reminder.
But now it's disappeared completely.
Yeah, not there. So I hadn't sent it. And then I had a phone call from Selby, and now it's gone.
So next week you're going back to the napkin, envelope.
No, next week, live reads, whatever.
Yeah.
So I had the Riley O'Brien thing just on that, you know how you can accidentally tweet your notes or whatever, and your phone just sometimes takes over. That actually happened to me once a long time ago, and it was when Twitter was just brand new, right? So it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
But I accidentally tweeted Aaron Sandilands' phone number. It was just like Aaron Sandilands and then his mobile number.
Right.
And it was out there for about a day and a half before I realised what I'd done. Yeah. I don't know if anyone ended up calling him or texting the big fella.
No, on air, Baz gives his own phone number out.
Really?
His own personal
It's not his
phone
real
number.
phone number, though.
It's his real phone number, and then people ring him during the show.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why does he do that?
He's as the Lord Mayor, he's open for everyone.
Oh,
Yeah, and they don't know. He dead set reads his number out online. On air.
Do you reckon it's a real one, or he's got like a new one that he just has for that?
It's the one there that sits on the table.
real one?
Yeah, the one there. People, Basil, every Saturday night I'll have missed calls from people giving me shit.
yes.
That is
True.
Not sure that's the smartest idea.
No, anyway.
All right, let's kick it off with Geelong.
What are we doing? Ladder order?
We're doing ladder, yeah. They get the finalists and then the rest.
Yeah, okay.
The finalists are the most important.
There, okay. So my thinking is Geelong has the most to lose, right? Like, I know Brisbane have been building and yada, yada. But I just think with what they've got, they got 12 guys in their best 22 that are 30 plus, and another one in Stewart who's 29. I just think that this is their last all-in year with the Dangerfield, Selwood types. At some point...
But we said that last year was their last year.
Yeah, but every year gets closer, right?
No, I get that. So then
what if they bring in a hopper?
Well, they might. Yeah, I suppose they might.
What about Connor McKenna?
Did you see? Yeah, coming back.
Yeah, I like that.
Have you got off halfback?
Yeah, he would be. Yeah. So, look, I like what they've done this year. I like everything about where they're at. But then you look at Dangerfield, he's clearly not the same player.
No.
Like, Selwood's had a really good year, but every year
No, I agree,
older.
It's their last.
At some point, your mate Hawk has to slow down, right?
Oh,
No, it
did
doesn't
you
look
see
like
the
it.
sit down with Tom Brown?
At his farm?
On the farm.
You've been to the farm,
And they had
obviously?
the leather glove. Tom had leather gloves on and a helmet, driving his little buggy. Come on, mate.
I haven't seen it.
Have a look at
No,
it.
I'm sure it was very good.
I think he had the helmet on.
It's easy
first.
to be
I reckon
critical.
he's worn that helmet once in his life, because there was cameras there. He thought,
Oh, Tom?
Yes.
I was thinking, which Tom are you talking about?
No, Tom Hawkins had
so he
leather
the
gloves on and a helmet. Yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah, come on. all.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, you would have been to that farm.
It's a nice little establishment,
Yeah. Any good stories from the farm?
And he was, oh, mate, I tell you what, we need that 2-minute warning. Well, there's this story I can't well one night.
No.
So you don't think... Well, you think they
Brisbane
used
have
to
got the
win
most
it, but
to
it's the
lose.
last
You
game.
reckon Brisbane have got the most to lose?
Yeah.
Geelong with that serial,
But Brisbane have been
they
there.
kind of choke thing.
Yeah, I know, I
going
get it,
on.
but at least they're
doesn't
winning
matter.
to choke.
Yeah, they're in
Brisbane don't
prelims.
even win.
Oh, like we've said before, that they're one more win off being fine, one more win off being top two. And
Yeah, no, but it's talking about in
everyone thinks
finals.
it's
Like
rosy.
Finals,
they're
mate.
bouncing out quickly.
MCG.
I don't know. I think that Geelong have to stand up for multiple reasons.
But I reckon they've batted overs anyway. So if they win one final and lose one, well, that's probably what I expect.
Melbourne. So the big question around Melbourne this week, finished top two. Obviously, they're playing Sydney in the, what are they called? Qualifying final. Tom McDonald. So he's fit. He returned from long-term sort of ankle problems in the VFL at the weekend. Kicked a goal from 11 touches and 2 marks. I think they won it too.
Yeah, Casey won. Yeah.
Yeah. So does he come straight in? Is he a straight in proposition?
I don't think so. Like, I think they're looking pretty good at the moment. And if you're going to do that, when you bring in a key position guy more than any other player, it shifts the balance, right? So if you're bringing in another midfielder, swapping out a midfielder, whatever.
Sometimes
but if you're
it does.
bringing in Tom
Depends on the
McDonald, it means
midfielder.
one of your bigs has to go, or you're suddenly too tall. And he's pretty mobile. But I would, if it were me, I'd be saying have another go.
Oh, I think he's just waiting now.
Yeah,
Something.
have another go.
Injury or, yeah. Then what they did to Brisbane the week before too.
Yeah.
He would have sat there crying at home going, oh, this can't happen. Because you're not going to change that team.
He becomes...
Is that not the perfect mix, what just happens?
Correct. He becomes the insurance, right?
Yeah.
So if Ben
He's
Brown...
the Matt Taberner.
Yeah, exactly. So you're the next guy in, and it's great for the selectors to go, right, if anything happens, we've got Tommy ready to go.
Yeah.
But he needs more time. Like, you play him again
But also, he's not the Tom McDonald who was the All-Australian or All-Australian squad.
Last year.
Close. He kicked 50
Whatever
that
it
year.
was. I think that he's not that version of himself anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not that good to be. He's not a Buddy Franklin, so he's not getting.
I
kicked.
definitely
But he's
think
still
they're
almost
better
their
with him
best
in the
key
team.
forward.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
him in their team, but right now he hasn't been
It's just
playing
bad
for
luck,
long
I think.
enough.
I don't think it's bad luck.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you're probably right.
Crack the sads about it, mate. It's just Tom
I'm not. I'm
McDonald.
really upset about it. I'm really upset about it.
McDonald.
No, I just thought like that's their best
who are
mix
you
in the
dropping?
forward line. Well, that's another question. Who's still playing? Sam Wiedemann's still in there?
You're a fraud, mate. You're a fraud.
No,
Dropping Luke Jackson?
Yeah, dropping Luke Jackson. No, he's got a bit of an injury cloud as well, doesn't he? But he should be fine. They said.
Well,
He was
Petrarca's
subbed out.
got the calf.
Yeah, they'll all play.
Okay.
All right, give Tom another
You
week.
don't wanna
We've
be a burst
decided.
player with a bad soft tissue.
We've
issue.
decided
With a
we're giving
week.
Tom another week. Sydney.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Okay, so
Save has no idea
We
who's
talk
got
a lot
another.
about-
I've got one top eight side.
Okay.
talk a lot about their young players and how they've got so much young talent on their team. One that goes under the radar, I think, from a national media perspective, is Rowbottom. I think James Rowbottom has been...
They've got 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, but Rowbottom goes right under.
Yeah, no, but like Hayward
So it's like,
can go
Warner
under.
and Goulden
Yeah.
and all these blokes get mentioned. If you run his numbers...
Run them for us.
So 23 and a half, nearly 24 disposals and 8.5 tackles
He averages 24
in
disposals.
the last 5 weeks.
Oh, right,
So his form, he's peaking
Yeah,
in his
red
form
hot.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, red hot.
And if you do his numbers, they're in line with Tom Green, not quite Noah Anderson, but in line with Rao, just under Sarong, same as LDU. Even your mate Warner, he matches up statistically with what Warner's doing.
Warner's a different player.
They're very different players. Warner's your chook, and Rowbottom is going to be your grind guy. But he is a really good player. Do you know he's 21, right? So how many games do you reckon he's played?
60.
66. He's barely missed a game in the last 3 or 4 years.
Really?
I just went 3 seasons time.
That's
I thought he spent a long time in the NEFL that 1 year. Didn't he win the NEFL award? Am I thinking of someone else?
I don't think that's right.
No.
But he is.
But they've got Florent and those guys there.
Yeah.
They've got so many B graders. People you'd claim as C grader in terms of they don't have the profile even of a B.
Yeah.
But they play at B.
They're
B
bounce.
graders, but they're in Sydney.
Yep, they're going to bounce. And they do it better than anyone else. Like with him, they've just been going, right, you're our last picked midfielder for probably 4 years. You're just going to get, maybe you'll tag every now and then. Maybe you'll play half forward every now and then.
He's punching Sarong numbers.
Yeah, and
who's
now he's
second midfielder.
Exactly. Now he's going whack every single week.
CBT's nephew?
He is.
Yeah. Is that the one? Right.
Yeah, and his sister's playing for Gold Coast.
Yeah, she was the number one pick a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so no, he's a talent. I really like him. I think he's going to be a really good player. And he's your typical under the radar Sydney Swan.
Can Sydney win?
I think they can.
Not if they put out that performance against St Kilda, but their ceiling is premiership.
Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah, that's a last home and away season. There's not a lot, just jitters. I think they can win it.
Could they beat Melbourne this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they could.
They did at the MCG earlier.
Is that the one you're looking forward to the most? Or is it Collingwood Geelong?
Well, no, I reckon I'm Fremantle Doggies.
Yeah? Now you're on the Freo bandwagon. Oh, because you want the Dogs to win.
And it's all,
Right, I get it.
No, that's not
I feel
right.
like there's always more excitement around the elimination.
Yeah, the
ones,
elimination,
right?
mate.
There's more at stake.
Think about the Swans Giants last year.
True.
When Toby was decking up.
There's a lot at stake in those eliminations.
And then Ozzy did the interview and said, nothing in it, mate. I'll tell you that much. 6 weeks.
That was accidental, right?
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that, I didn't think.
Collingwood.
That's me again.
Look at all the ads.
There's obviously they're the team that's out of everyone in the 8. They've caught lightning in a bottle, right?
Yeah.
They've just gone out of nowhere. We saw the over-under last week. What was it, like 8 games ahead of where the bookies had them?
Yeah.
And the bookies aren't that wrong that often. So they have burst out of the gate. We was chatting just before. I was saying they're the team that, if you looked at it trying to predict what they're doing next year,
Could
God
miss the
knows.
8. Could
miss
get
the
unlucky
8,
and miss
could
the
do
8
this
with
again.
injury too.
But trying to do this, like the way they've done it with all those close wins, this is a season out of the box, which is why I think they could actually win it, right?
You think
because
they could win it?
they've just got this crazy momentum, crazy belief. We saw it with the Bulldogs in 2016. Even Richmond, you need to actually remember that Richmond, no one thought they were winning that flag at the start of that year. They came out of nowhere.
Well, their last game of 2016, they lost by like 80 points or something in Sydney.
Yep, we've seen so many teams just go, okay, bang, we're in the moment, we're taking
Do you know what I like from Collingwood?
Who?
Murphy.
Yeah, I like him too. Yeah,
He's a good defender.
He came in mid-year and he added something to them for sure.
No, I'm a
and
fan.
He's not Darcy Moore, but they have a similar kind of build, right?
Yeah,
Sort of
so
lanky,
the hair,
the arms and
the hair about
Do
it.
they have? They might even have an A grade up at the moment, like the level they're playing at. It's just
Devon
everyone's a
Australian?
B plus.
Braden Maynard.
Braden Maynard.
Yeah. They were going to be the first team in 20 years to finish top 4 and not have an all.
Yeah, they had to
which
just
tells
find
you
one.
everything about their year. Even their percentage, it stood out. Ollie Henry's interesting, out of contract. What's happened with him is 28 goals in 25 games. I think we all think he can play footy, and he's really talented. Ash Johnson's come in and he just hasn't misfired.
Jeez.
So that's the role, right? So if Ash Johnson was playing terrible footy, Henry comes in.
Their forward line's the model of their forward line.
The wild card forward line.
Just Who are we going to kick it to?
Yep.
Kick it in the air, kick it on the ground.
Well, Elliott, Ginnivan,
No predictability.
Even when you throw in Johnson, who knows what the hell you get.
But even like Cameron goes down there and plucks it, and Cox is unpredictable.
Yep. It's the chaos theory.
Degoe can go in there. Like it's chaos. I love it.
It's not like you look at Geelong's. It's like Hawkins, Cameron, Stengel, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Didn't get time to tell you my story about Ash Johnson. Anyway,
We'll come back to that.
on to
Not when you travel up north and then there was a photo.
They're on the
And then
car.
you went back
You
through
told
the
that
photo.
already.
They're on the
Mate,
car.
5 times.
You discovered
He's
Ash
told it
Johnson.
5
I did.
times.
And Jai Farah. Fremantle.
Fremantle Football Club, that is who I have.
Why did we give it to the hater in the first
I know.
final in 7 years?
But
We've
don't
given it
do
to
this,
Plus I'm
the
knocked out immediately.
Let's not do that, mate. Yeah, I love the boys.
Right, tell us why they're going to lose. Go.
No, well, tough. So Tabernar at the start of the season was their number 1 forward pick, you'd say.
Yep.
Kicked 7 against
against
the
Bombers.
Bombers.
First choice, yep.
Didn't play waffle on the weekends.
Yeah.
So Logue's in front of him, Lob's in front of him, and Fife has to play forward.
Yeah.
So Tabernar's not going to play. is that all purely to squeeze Fife in as a forward?
I think the thing with Tabner is they're very aware that on his day he can win them a final.
But he's the only forward that can do that, in my opinion, down there.
Well, Rory's won a few games this year.
You reckon Rory's got a 7 in him?
Well, he played very well against the Dogs last
4.
time. He really set him up.
He still needs 3 more.
We don't need 7 in a final to win it. These days, if you kick 4 in a final, that's a big game.
Yeah, but we've seen Tabner kick 7 this year.
But he's not doing that against the Bulldogs.
But I think what's his next best?
Because that was Essendon when they were real bad.
And I reckon his next best was 3.
Yeah. Who? Tabner.
That was a bit of a day out.
Jesus.
That was a
hater.
That was a day out.
He's had a bad year.
I know
His injury was, mate.
But
So how does that forward line work?
Well, I have a feeling that they're going to play all of them if Tabner's fit.
You reckon?
Tabner won't play.
I don't think he's fit. That's
Tabner,
right. But
Lobb,
if he was fit, I reckon they'd play all of them.
No, I heard Longy say the other day that...
Can't bring
Yeah, I heard that
them all.
too, but I spoke to him a couple of days later, and I think their issue is, as I said, they know that either Lobb or Tabner can win him a game, right? So you want as many guys out there in a final who could bob up. And if you don't have him playing, it's one less guy who
So
could
then who
bob
goes
up.
out? That's 4 talls.
Suddenly you're playing a bit big. Yeah, and that's the issue. And if it's going to be wet and the Dogs are fast, so it becomes a different issue.
Oh, it is going to be wet, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I call baloney on it. Right?
So you just reckon Tabner doesn't play?
Well, you don't
It's
think
one
it's
of
going to rain? What?
No, it won't rain.
Yeah.
No, I look at these long-range forecasts. It's just a guess. Oh, we'll just pick that day to rain. That'll do. That's how it happens, mate. I'm telling you. Oh, it's going to be, no, to rain.
Meteorologists.
Yeah,
watching
secret.
this now, just throwing stuff at the
We're
screen.
not sponsored by them.
Oh, I know. But we're open to it.
Not
We're definitely
anymore.
open to it.
Next week I'm wearing a bomb hat.
Across live to Zave on the boundary is getting pelted with rain.
Told you it was going to rain.
Brisbane, so that's me. Word around, so a couple of things around from Brisbane today. Marcus Adams done for the
Concussion,
season with concussion, struggling outside. Another one in the scary category.
Very scary.
They're considering Darcy Wilmot, their first pick in pick 16 last year's draft, a defender to come in and make his debut in a final. They said they were considering it around round 17. Then I think he got COVID.
Well, he was the one that before round 1 he was going to be in, right? They loved this kid, and then they had like a soft tissue issue or something, and it ruled him out for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then he sort of just fell away because they were playing well.
And there's a lot of red flags for them this week. So Adams, who was already out, obviously Ainsworth, Rayner, and you're talking about bringing in an 18-year-old.
You can't.
Not many finals to
Who's
boost.
he going to get? Who's he going to play on?
Well, that's the Tigers forward line. There's a few names there that you don't want to be playing
imagine
on.
Andrews goes to Lynch, and you hope Andrews winds back the clock a bit.
Yeah.
He's been disappointing this year, I'd say.
Yeah.
Then there's...
But Wilmot's more of a running sort of defender. He's not a keeper.
No, but sorry, I'm just saying. It's,
Dust Gardner.
Maybe like a... Cumberland or something? Or?
Yeah, that would be the matchup. Cumberland, who's only probably played, 6, 7?
Yeah, something like
Off
that.
the
But
top
a
of
good
my head.
player.
Yeah, good player.
Yeah.
But that would be the matchup for him. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to put him on somebody, it would have to be someone of that.
And there's going to be moments in the game where he's going to have to man up a Shea Bolton or a Dusty Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dangerous half-forward line.
Maybe
it's
they
just-
make him the sub or something like that.
Yeah, I'd cop a sub.
But if you're doing that, and I think this is your point,
It's true. It's
is that a little bit of a
Yeah.
desperation sort of...
Yeah, or you're just out with what you've now just pinholed Mitch Robinson, for example. And gone,
Yeah.
we've tried this in finals.
Yep.
Sorry, Mitch, you're out.
We need to move on.
This kid might do half of what you've done, but he also might bring a bit of energy, a bit of fun, a bit of spark, bit of
And
spunk.
he's a 10-year player for us, and we need to start moving towards him.
And what does Zorko do?
He keeps quiet.
Yeah, no, but like...
How did you feel like that played out with the whole... When he said,
terribly.
"Oh no, that wasn't the only thing said," sort of vibe, and then
I'm going to be careful
Caro
because I was quoted
Oh,
your
yeah.
quote.
I was
on-
quoted.
on
Yeah,
Perth
that's
now.
right.
Xavier Ellis calls for banning of Zorko,
Yeah.
and then there's a quote underneath.
It was me.
From you.
Yeah.
Right, I got bashed
appreciate-
I got bashed on Twitter.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, I cop all that hit.
You're here to take the heat. That's what you do.
What did you say?
I was just asking
Zorko,
the
what
way
did
it
he do?
played out with him sort of saying, "Oh, well, that wasn't the only sledge." I
Yeah.
crossed the line, but there was other stuff, and then
Gotta
Caro
let it
saying
go.
the investigation needs to be on both sides.
But this is obviously, so they've been worded up. Someone at Brisbane's wording up like who they consider the big
Yeah.
hitters in Melbourne media. Just let it go. Let it die.
I would have personally gone up and said, I apologise profusely to offending the Petty family or whatever, and then that's it.
Just
That's
left
it.
a bit out where there were other guys doing it.
yeah, just leave it.
Well, you definitely have to leave that out personally. You can maybe let the media do that. Like,
Yeah,
If
he
you
said-
want
he
to,
said
but
still-
even then,
Yeah.
it just drags up the story for another few weeks. Just
when
let
he
it go.
faced the media, I know the siren's gone. When he faced the media during, was it Thursday or Friday last week?
It was on
That
the
story
radio.
was gone.
Yeah.
Man, I was into
Yeah.
Mount Waverley gear.
it's because they had their B&F.
But
so
still,
he was
like-
always going to have to talk.
Yeah, but-
not BNF.
No,
What
but
was
he
it? The
doing on
finals
morning,
launch
mate.
or something?
It was like pitch black
Yeah,
in Brisbane.
the awards.
The awards. It was the awards night.
No, but it was
But he
pitch
didn't
black
have
in
to.
Brisbane when I saw him on 7.
Yeah.
Pitch black. It was like
Yeah.
6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
it was not.
Was it?
was
I
not.
played again the next
Yeah.
morning and
Must
I
have
was
been.
up
Yeah,
early.
yeah, you must be because you were up early. He wasn't up at 4 a.m.
I was like, why is this bloke speaking at 6 a.m.? I could not work that out. Shit, that makes
Not
sense.
everyone operates like a vampire.
We're on
Yeah.
to
Okay.
Richmond, which is also me.
Okay.
So what are you expecting? So Dustin Martin trained on the weekend. He
Dusty don't
comes in. You don't think
What?
Dusty plays?
I'm joking.
Yeah, I thought, what? Coming in off a hammy. What are you actually expecting from him? Like, he's just going to sit forward and then he might go to the mid when Bolton is going
As
forward?
long as Bolton keeps his role.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of feeling.
I
Dusty
think-
fills the gaps around
Mate,
Bolton.
Dusty might be goal square stuff.
Yeah.
With Lynch.
And he could kick 4.
Yeah, well, he's going to win those one. Oh, will you get Starcevic? Is Starcevic going to play?
Starcevic's
yeah,
playing,
Yeah,
isn't he?
so you'd probably get Starcevic.
Yeah.
You'd think.
If
Strong-
he starts forward, yeah, for sure.
As like
He's
a
got to
deep
start forward, right?
He'd have to.
He can only really come in the side as that forward pinching in the middle,
Oh,
right?
you burst him every now and then.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Bolton jogging down, hands on hips, path,
Dusty.
Dusty up, give me this bloke. You're like, oh shit, Dusty to Bolton. Right.
Starcevic is just going to have an absolute
But
nightmare.
in credit to
of a night.
Starcevic, he stitched quite a few up this
Mate,
year.
he's a
Yeah,
good
great.
defender.
Yeah.
He's a very
Great
good
defender.
defender.
So Dusty, I think, just plays deep.
Yeah, that's what I'd imagine. Yeah, for 1 or 2 pinches. in the
And
middle
also,
or something.
get to the point where you might want to put him in the midfield, but I wouldn't.
You just
Well,
leave
just
him
back
down there.
your team to win. They've been in
Yeah.
good form.
Depends what
And-
happens on the night.
I know, but you want
if
to
things
get
are getting out of hand,
you
and you
want to
think, I
get
need a
you
spark.
want to, you want to not break him down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there's elimination, though.
I get that, but
Yeah.
the team's good enough. They've
Okay,
shown
so
they're
whatever
good
it's
enough.
3/4 time and you're down 4 goals.
Oh, that's a bit different too.
Yeah,
they've
it's
kicked the
situational.
first 3 and you go,
Yeah.
shit, let's panic and
Yeah,
get everyone
we
in
need
there.
to do
I was
something.
thinking,
Nah,
if you
you've
think
just
it's
got to
getting
sort
out
it
of
out.
control, we need to stop them walking you out of stoppage. Dusty's
Yeah.
probably not
Yeah,
your man
Dusty's
there.
not man. Yeah,
No,
Dusty's not. But Brisbane aren't walking out of any stoppage.
No,
at
this
the
is
moment,
true.
are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting game. There's a lot at stake in that game for Brisbane, obviously. First week exit is,
And then Richmond, all of a sudden, they've got life again.
yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they do.
They could
'Cause
win
in
the flag.
The
You reckon
following
we should
week,
win the flag?
because
They could win the flag.
the following week they'd play the loser of Sydney Melbourne, right? Now let's say in some weird way it turns
Richmond
out to
could
be Melbourne.
get Sydney.
You know,
But Richmond
Yeah,
could get Sydney.
Richmond
too.
could get Sydney and Melbourne, yeah.
The teams that finish 7th and 8th, and we'll get to the Dogs later.
Every year, though, we find a case for them.
I know, but
And
it
then
feels
they
like
get done.
I know.
It feels like this year. I mean, you've got one who's a 3-time Premier, the other one who made a grand final last
Yeah.
year. There's a lot of danger in those 2 spots.
We're on to, Western Bulldogs.
Oh, here
Righto,
we go.
Bulldogs, and you almost took the words out of my mouth. Every year, 8th, we talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, here they
Yeah.
come. Because it's usually a wounded team that's got a couple coming back from injury,
Yep.
being good. I'm thinking it's a toss of the coin. I think there's 50 games experience from finals experience in Freo, 50 total
Yeah.
from 5 players.
Yeah, and most of those are with 2 or 3 players.
Yeah. So there's inexperience, big stage.
Yep.
Over here, they haven't had a full lot, like a big Optus like it's going to be. Am I thinking that we're might as blind to what the Doggies did last year?
I think we're all a little blinded about the Dogs because all year we've been going, here they come,
Yeah.
here they come, and they never really got there, and then they sort of kind
Fell
of just
over the
scraped
line.
in because of Carlton. Like they shouldn't even be in the
Nah.
finals. Like it's
And
easy
even
to
when they did
forget
against
that.
Hawthorn, it was like...
There was barely
yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
It was barely enough. Something isn't right at the Dogs chemistry-wise. It's just not working. The mix isn't working. Whether it's too many mids, like there's
Yeah.
all this talk about Josh Dunkley now. Is he going? Where is he going? Is it somewhere else? Is it Brisbane? Is it Essendon? Whatever.
Trelaw was back, now back in the midfield.
Yeah, and he's been
Um,
playing a bit of halfback at some point. McRae's on a
yeah.
wing. Like I don't think the mix is right. I don't think it has been all year. Last year they got it right for that 6-week period. I think so. I think Fremantle.
Did we get enough out of Norton?
I think Norton's done everything he
What's he
can.
kick,
Yeah.
50
He's a
something?
lone soldier up there,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Like he is. Like Bruce not being there all year has really hurt.
And he's been a liability.
Bruce,
Yep.
since he's come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not like you go, 1 week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a month now.
Yeah, and he just hasn't got it.
They need, like, it's not going to happen now, but they need the summer for Ugelhagen to basically push Bruce out of the necessity.
Tell you
Don't
what,
start
if-
talking to him about you.
If Jamara kicks 4 in the final over here, I'll take the
If
6,000.
Freo
I'll
win,
jump the fence and shake his
perfect
hand.
scenario is Freo win in pouring rain and Ugelhagen kicks 5.
Yeah. yeah.
Zave leaves Perth.
No, mate. Don't paint that picture. You sort of dust up a few more Liam Henry tweets. No, they're good. That'll get you on side with the Dockers.
I still believe.
I know, I'm sure you do, but no need to suck up all the time.
It's not.
You're the greatest. You old Kit Kat over here. I'll suck up. Actually, can I bring a Kit Kat in and just put it here?
Just ceremonial.
And every week, and if you do break a story, I'm going to hand it.
What level of breaking do you want here?
Not team news.
What do you want?
Not who was on the plane. None of that.
We want the juicy stuff.
I want like an advanced drug cheating sergeant. I want you to be breaking that stuff.
Okay.
Carlton.
The Blue Baggers, that's me as well.
Check your notes.
No. So they got six All Australians. In my opinion, could be like Doherty.
Yeah.
Wiedering.
That level of player.
That level of player.
Yep.
They've got
Doherty, Wiedering, Walsh, Cripps,
Sard,
Mackay, and Curnow.
And Sard.
And then
Sard's already in there.
Yep.
7.
Yep.
Then they've got the next layer: Kennedy, Chera, Hewitt.
Yep.
So, what do they need? Like, what is their number one priority this offseason? What the bloody hell do they need?
I'm pretty sure they're going to get Blake Acres, right? So a wingman that can run up and down.
Mate, the Kit Kat straight away.
He's just coming out.
There's a lot to play out.
There's a story for you.
It's been talked about.
Well, if he's getting the offer that is suggested and the money and the years, there's no way Fremantle are matching that. They would be irresponsible, and it's good for Blake Acres.
We're
talking 4
350?
years, $350 a year. Like that, there's no way Fremantle can match that.
Blake Acres was their best player in certain patches this year.
That Geelong game where they won Geelong,
and then when he did his hamstring over
it's also the first time he's ever been considered that in his whole career. Like Blake has been a nice player from time to time, but that was absolutely the peak of his entire career, that 10-game stretch, right? Then he gets hurt. So in every single way, he's capitalising on himself, and Fremantle would be selling high. Right. So all of those things are positives.
I think he's important for you.
And I also, he is, but you're bringing in O'Driscoll is going to be way more than Blake Acres within a year or two. He's already really damaging.
Yeah,
right?
I like O'Driscoll.
You've got to remember that. And then they also, I know you don't like Henry, but he's coming and he's going to be a wingman. And then he's
not going to be a wingman. Erasmus and Johnson and those guys, mate, they've all gone past him.
Johnson's, he's huge. He could be an inside mid.
Mate, they've all
absolutely. Erasmus is. I don't think he's a wingman.
Erasmus is inside or forward.
Yeah, but squeeze him somewhere.
Well, this is what I'm saying. They've got guys, right? They're not short on guys. Even Freddie can play on the wing. So Carlton go for Blake Acres. There's your wingman. I think that gives them good run on the outside, run and carry. I think that's one thing they're missing because all those guys are insiders, right?
Would have they done the Chera deal if 12 months later? Carlton's still doing that deal for Chera?
Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
He had a couple of really big games towards the end of the year.
Yeah. I know he's definitely getting more money than he should be, but I still think you need lots of players to get it done in that.
You can't have lots of players on lots of money.
Yeah. Well, at some point you're going to run out of money, right? It's amazing that they still have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite
got two common medalists, etc. We're on to St Kilda.
St Kilda, that's me again. Bloody hell, I've had a hot run here. How do you get talent into that football club? Simple as that. What are you selling? We've went through. Have they got it? No, they don't.
So Degoe's the one, right?
Is that it?
Well, so Degoe's the one that they've met many times about.
Do you think that changes much?
I think it does.
Interest.
Like jumps them up to top four sort of areas?
No, not top 4.
Nah.
Yeah, see, then why do you do it?
No. Well, maybe they go, righto, we can get to go in, that's finals. Then we go, then the next time we've got, I don't know who could be out, just picking a random player. Andy Brayshaw wants to come home. Just random player. Righto, we've top 8 last time. We see you in the midfield. Here's $1 million. Maybe it's just a piece to then to go up the ladder to then get another piece to build.
So if you're a St Kilda, same with North Melbourne, same with, I don't know, who are the smaller Vic clubs? Let's say Melbourne before they came good.
Yep.
You got 2 ways where you can be really successful. You've got to nail every draft pick for about 5 years and build an insane team.
Which they haven't.
They haven't. Or you've got to overpay for other guys, and they might not even be A-graders. And we've seen that with them. Crouch, Hill. Like, these guys are good players, but they're not moving the needle for you. And so they have to go.
Pieces. They are added pieces, aren't they?
They're all added pieces. Yeah. So then you have to go and get Degoe, he's damaged goods at the moment, right? Yeah, but if Degoe's flying in every capacity, Collingwood are not letting him go.
No.
If there's nothing happening off field and he's playing his mind out.
And 17 other clubs are interested.
Exactly. So St Kilda are going, well, this is how we get a star. We have to kind of take the damage.
Maybe moving him from Collingwood 2 to a smaller club might help.
Maybe. Or it's the worst possible thing for him because Collingwood would have resources to keep him in line as much as possible.
Yeah.
And
They
maybe
couldn't even
Kilda
keep him
don't.
in the country.
Yeah, so imagine what would happen if they didn't have the resources. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's probably the move that St Kilda
Where do you
has
get
to
the
make.
help for King?
What's that?
Where's King's help?
Well, De Goey takes attention when he plays forward, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't he already got help? He just needs to kick it straight.
Well,
Like, he's got
that's
memory,
him
etc.
personally.
there.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Membry gets underrated.
yeah.
Yeah, but if Membry's no longer... Membry's talking about Membry. when he
How
first
old
started.
is Membry?
Mate, he was 21 or
mate.
something.
But he's
for
one of these
7
guys
years.
that we need to...
I think he's 29.
All right, I'll look that up while we're
All
on
right,
to the next
we're
one.
on to Port Adelaide.
Oh, that's me. So someone else
I'll
look
get
up
on to
Membry's
Members.
age.
Yeah, you go on Members.
I reckon he's 29.
You
I'm going to go 26.
Let's talk
No,
about...
he's older than that.
No, he's got to be older than 26. He's been around forever.
He's 28.
Yeah.
Just turned 28
Just
too.
turned 28. Port Adelaide. Now, I was thinking about what they need, right? Like, and what they have an abundance of. And
B graders in the middle.
Well,
but the outside Bs.
But let's talk about assets that maybe other people want that you don't want to give up, but if you can get something fantastic for it. And I know they don't want to give up Mitch Georgiades, right? They would love to keep
This is
him-
your campaign.
Yeah.
Why
They
do you
would
hate
love
Mitch
to keep him
Georgiades
and
at Port
Marshall
Adelaide?
together, build it around. But
Well, then get rid of Dixon.
well, they can't, right? This is the problem. So
No
they're stuck
market.
there. So if you feel like you need to trade Georgiades, and there's a huge market there from the WA teams,
Yeah. Who's
what do
in on
you
Mitch
want?
over here?
What do you want?
First rounder.
No,
Yeah.
you need more than that. You need a player, like because they're in the window, right? Don't they need a player?
Port in the window. They make finals.
They think they're in the window. With the list they have, they should be in the window. With the coach they have, like so, are they or aren't they?
I don't think they're in the window.
Because if they're not in the
No.
window, then the other answer is to just get rid of all the old blokes and
That's
move
what I
on.
would do.
They won't do that though.
Well, that's
We saw that because they've kept Hinkley rather than going to the rebuild and starting again. They've
So
kept him.
are there that many more old blokes?
Boak, Jonas, Dixon, Lysette,
How old's Lysette?
Maybe 29, 28.
29, 30, isn't
Around
it?
that mark.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a bit there, but I still like. I feel like they don't have enough. That they're not going to ship off all their old blokes. Some of their old
The
blokes are
only
still
thing
producing.
is,
Let me ask
they've
you
got
this.
growth in Rosie and growth in Butters.
Yeah.
And that might just about be enough.
Yeah,
And
it
then you
could
got
be.
Georgiades underneath
Yeah.
Dixon and
Let me ask you this: if West Coast came to Port Adelaide and said,
Okay.
"Here's Willie Rioli,
Well, yeah. Okay.
and you can have your pick back, that second round pick."
Oh, done.
which is for Georgiades.
Yeah, it's done.
So you're saying that if you're Port?
I'm saying that from West Coast.
Oh yeah, if you're West
Yeah.
Coast, but are you saying yes
No,
if you're Port?
no.
Not enough?
No, nowhere near enough.
So what do you
give me
want?
first and junior Rioli and
First and junior.
I
Yeah.
don't
That's
think.
too
I
much
don't
because the
think.
first is pick 2 or 3. You're not getting that.
future first.
No, that's going to be. That's going
That's
to be.
gonna be-
Well,
pick
well,
one.
I don't know. They said there's still noise coming out of there. They think they're going to bounce
I
back.
don't think Junior Rolly's got value at the moment. There's
I
too
think-
much going on around
I
him.
reckon you're wrong.
Yeah, that's really,
Yeah, I reckon
my
he's got
personal
value.
opinion. There's too
Yeah,
much going
okay.
on at the
I
moment.
reckon you're wrong. I reckon people want him.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they do, but I wouldn't be investing. If I was coach of a list, I wouldn't be investing.
Yeah, okay.
Gold Coast Suns. So a lot of stuff's been wrapped up in the Rankine talk the last couple of weeks. Also, as part of that, it's hard to stomach the we did so much for him and put so much around him. It's like, yeah, but you did that because you knew he was a good player and you thought you were going to get a return for your investment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but flip the coin. He also said he's not leaving.
Well, yeah, I know, but you can't play the too much. You can't play the card too much of the like. We did so much for him. It's
What
like,
did he say when he
Because I don't
first
think he
came
did that
over?
for pick 68.
Yeah, I don't know. What did he first say
Yeah,
when
he said,
came
I don't
over?
want to get, like, people assume because I'm an Aboriginal man, I'm just going to
going
want to go
home.
home
Yeah.
immediately.
We didn't go immediately.
No.
No.
and
it took $800,000
I was
a
going to
year
say,
to
you
get
can
him
go
out of
whatever
there.
you want, whether you're Indigenous or not, go home. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
And he's going home for a decent check.
Well, would you be
I
paying
just don't
800?
buy that. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if what they've done, and I had Rankin for Adelaide as well, so we can go into depth.
Well, okay, we can go into the other. We
Are
can
they next? We'll just go straight into the Crows. We'll do 4 minutes on Rankin and Gold Coast,
okay.
right?
And we swap,
So,
and
yeah,
Hawthorn can
correct.
come around.
So I reckon what's probably happened is that it's probably more than 800 in the first year or two. It's the money that shocks you because they can do that right now, right? The Crows don't have
Yeah,
a
they
whole
can
list
put
of
it
guys
forward.
they're paying.
You get
they might
1.2
have even-
next
They might
year.
even be paying him $1 million next year,
Jack
and then
Martin money.
at the end it gets lower and lower when they're starting to go up, right? So how do you say no to that when you're 22? What is he? 22,
Yeah.
21?
But I mean, he's not getting offered 50,000 from the Gold Coast.
The money would be good, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as good as
No,
what
I get
Adelaide are doing.
that, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
When you're young,
Which list would you rather be on building?
Gold Coast.
Well, he thinks that.
the big snuffy
think,
Gold
I think they're both
no,
like
it's Gold
they're both
Coast.
in a good spot. Gold Coast are probably like
Where
2
would you
years
ra-
ahead.
And where would you
Yeah.
rather live? Gold
I
Coast.
love Adelaide, mate.
Yeah, Adam, mate.
I do love Adelaide, yeah.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
I've lived on the Gold Coast and it was too much for
Give
me.
me your favourite things about Adelaide. Give me 3.
Churches.
Barossa, Clare Valley, and
They're not Adelaide.
Oval.
That's South Australia.
No, but they're close enough.
But you can play at Adelaide Oval twice a year anyway.
They're close enough. Yeah, I'd name 3 pretty quickly then, didn't I?
Yeah.
Glenelg,
Golden
Beach.
House.
2 of them aren't even in Adelaide.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all part of the
Barossa.
experience.
Bad Dreams are a
Mate,
good
the
band.
Barossa's
You can
only
catch them
90
most
minutes
weeks.
away, 80 minutes away, something.
Okay, all right.
You live there
You're going to live in the Barossa.
and travel up and back.
So if you're Isaac, you're living in the Barossa.
And I'm not scratching my groin either. I was just scratching my leg. I just
Lot of-
had
We've had a lot of feedback about you, mate.
I know. But I'm not
little
scratching
too
my
much
tads. I'm
attention.
just doing the legs, okay?
You're going to rub some ointment on there or something next week. There's something going on.
Give him a break. He's had a lot of groin
He's
issues
got
over the
monkey
years.
or something.
Yeah, my groin tendon did get torn about a month ago or something. It's still sitting there.
Okay, so we're still going on sort of Gold Coast Adelaide.
Yeah, well,
here.
we can shift in a little bit more to the Adelaide side of things now and say, what does it do for them next year? So their forward line is suddenly Fogarty, Tex, Thrillthorpe, Rochelle,
Need to
and
clarify
Rankin.
Rochelle. Last week I said he played in the twos. He played one game in the twos, and for
Yeah,
some
which
reason
is
I
injured.
caught those highlights.
Right, okay.
So
But that's a pretty interesting
So
forward
go again.
line. So you got Walker, Thriller, and Fogarty. Then you've got Rankin and Rochelle.
Walker will come back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thriller, not convinced. Fogarty's been outstanding.
Fogarty,
last
I
half
think.
of
If
the year.
Fogarty holds that form.
Well, 4 of those 5 guys you'd expect to get better
Right.
and better and
Yeah.
better over the next 3
so
or
I'm
4
expecting
years.
with this, I'm thinking what they're hoping for is some combination of Rochelle and Rankine doing a Dusty Bolton split.
Yep.
So it's just one's in the middle, one's in the forward at all times, and then you got that X factor.
Yeah,
in
if we
both
look at
spots.
Brisbane and go, they're trying to do that with Rayner and Bailey.
Yeah.
And it
It
doesn't
ends
work.
up neither of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Neither of them are good at any. Like,
Yeah.
so neither
Well,
of them
maybe
are
one of
great
them
at
takes to the
any
midfield, and then you just say, okay, well, we're not swapping anymore. You're a
position.
midfielder.
I can't see Rankin being that midfielder.
No, but can you see maybe Rochelle being that midfielder?
I haven't seen enough.
I could see Rochelle doing it. He's
Haven't
got
seen
more
enough,
size. He seems to have more time. Like Rankin's got time, but he's more of a freak.
He fell off a cliff for Shelley though this year.
Yeah, he hit the wall.
Yeah,
And then he
for
got
sure.
injured.
Yeah.
Injured, yeah.
Yeah.
So Adelaide's going to have to give up their first,
Yeah,
which is what, pick 3 or 4,
6 or something.
5.
Yeah,
It's in
whatever,
that range,
yeah.
but
5.
they'll happily do that.
Which goes to 6 after Will.
And is there any more that they'd have to give up something else?
I think there's something
right?
else. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Has to be.
think maybe they just have to give up something decent because they still can't get over they paid for Adkins.
They just get.
That's
We want 2 first rounders to make up for the last.
That's
one.
it's quite remarkable.
crazy.
isn't
Do
it?
they ask for 2? You
You
can't
won't
ask for
get
2.
two.
You won't get 2.
You're not getting
Nah,
two.
what
Remember the currency was 2? It was
they have
like
a
3 years
throw
ago.
at-
The
There
currency
was a
for
while
everything
there.
was 2.
Was that Dylan Shield that shifted
Yeah,
that?
Dylan
Do
Shield.
they have a throw at that pick 6 that hasn't played? McKasey,
Fisher
McKasey.
McKasey. Think he's
McKasey?
going
Do
to.
they-
Mackesy?
He's going to Carlton, isn't
Yeah,
he?
but do they maybe go right? We'll
Give us him.
first and give us him. We'll see what we can do with him.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I'd take a look at him.
Take a punt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's high pedigree.
Try to get a player, maybe. They need players. The Dyson
Yeah.
Heppel thing's interesting. It's one to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so Hawthorn.
Okay, that's me. Carl Amon wants to go to Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Do we like that for them?
You
How
did,
old
didn't
is
you?
he? I'm an Amon man.
He's 25, 6?
I just think they've got so much Port Adelaide of the same players. You go through 7 of them like that.
Yeah, so you're happy that he's at Hawthorn?
I find it interesting
I think
at
he's the
Hawthorn.
best
I feel
of that bunch.
Right. So
Yeah.
they brought Tom Phillips in to
Didn't
play
work.
that role. Didn't
Yeah.
work.
Tom Phillips was a good player.
Yeah,
at
I
Collingwood.
don't know what
Amon
happened there.
He's a good
is
player.
the new go-to wingman. Right?
Yeah, I
so
think
Morrison
Amon's-
was on one wing this year and he played pretty well.
Yeah, played.
And so Amon is the other wing.
My only problem with it is, like, you're meant to get to a point before you get back into the free agency pool, isn't it? So that's how the build works. Like, you get the young talent in and then you go to the free agencies. But I suppose if they've got the cap space, you've got to spend it on someone.
Yeah, I get, and it also depends on how old the guys are bringing in. I mean, if he's 25, 26, if they think he can play 5 or 6 years, then
He's 6 years minimum.
you'd want to be up and about within
In
3 to
6
4,
years, yeah.
ideally. So I don't hate it. And you also need this. It doesn't mean every single player on your list has to be 20. You know what I mean? You do need
Yeah.
other guys. What we've
Yeah.
seen with the best teams is they've got a range of players in all sort of the spaces.
Yeah, maybe
Do
they
you
didn't have enough in
think
that
Carl
middle.
Amon's got room to grow too? Or have we seen the
Nah,
best version
I think
of Carl
last
Amon?
year.
I think he's got room to grow.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They had one game we had 17 at quarter time, and then he
Yeah.
disappears.
It's always hard with Port, though, because they seem to have a different halfback who would do that every week.
But they
like Riley
rotated all the
Bonner would
time.
get 20 and a
Yeah.
half, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
who? And then
Nah.
next week it's Burton. Next week
I don't
it's
think
Burn
he's
Jones.
not cutting his pizza amongst 7 others that are the same player.
I like it for him.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it for Hawthorn.
Sam Mitchell will get enough out of him.
Yeah. They're going to be pretty active, I reckon.
They
Hawthorn.
got money.
Yeah.
Heaps of it, somehow.
Yeah, I
And they've got
reckon.
money in the soft cap as well.
What do they got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pick 6, pick 7. Would have wanted something a little bit juicier than that. But anyway, they'll still get a good player.
What are we thinking of Denver?
So
Denver-
you think they're going to give the first for
No. He's free agent.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see what they're going to do this
their
year.
own pick. Yeah,
See
gotcha.
what they're doing with what the plan is.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think
Denver struggled with it.
Yeah,
Give him time. He's a key back.
But he was like a floating like.
I'm still in. You guys can jump off.
No, I'm still in, but I think you need to.
It sounds like you're a little bit.
Let's just say I'm on the
tweak his
ship.
role.
and I've spotted pirates in the distance, and I'm just looking at the life raft where I'm going to jump out on.
Just so you're aware in case.
Yes.
He's kind of like Sicily's role is what Denver's role is in an ideal world.
I don't want to talk about James Sicily. He lost me a fantasy grand final.
Oh, who we got?
We're on to Essendon. Oh, that's me. So the coaching panel, the panel selecting the new coach is Josh Marnie, the footy manager.
Can we just talk for a quick moment about how
bad
2 weeks ago you sacked Ben Rutten on this very podcast and he's gone. And I said, just wait.
And then he was gone.
So put the Kit Kat back together, mate.
Yeah. He went, didn't he?
A week later.
He went quickly.
It was the world's slowest sacking.
We did have that. I said, no, you got to go.
It really was. That's the worst thing about it. Like, if you're going to do something, you have to be like clear about it.
What's that game?
Just like, we're kind of going to go for this, but not
the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding.
Yeah, just Red Wedding it. Don't, don't
you
spend
can't.
6 hours, 6 days. Just
maybe let them know a little bit ahead of time. Not as abrupt as a Red Wedding, but. So Robert Walls, Jordan Lewis are on the panel to select the new coach. They've come out and they said they want an experienced coach. They haven't.
Did you hear what Jordan Lewis said last year?
About Uze?
Adam Uze.
He's just like...
He's number one on the pile. He's the best that's available.
Really?
Yeah. Someone dug through and found the quote and just said, like,
really?
If I was picking a coach, essentially, he'd be the one.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, now he's the one.
Wow.
So that's where I mean, they've left themselves a little bit of wiggle room by just saying experienced coach, not experienced head coach. So they obviously want an experienced head coach, but if they end up with an Uze, they can just say, no, he's experienced.
Have a look at the resume.
Yeah.
Clarkson, Melbourne.
Yeah, and Uze just missed out on the Giants job.
Yeah,
he came out and he said
one.
publicly, thanks for the process and all that.
Yeah.
Very classy.
And did he coach? So when I was at Hawthorn, Uze was like a 2-day-a-week development coach.
Right.
Yeah,
right at the bottom of the pile of coaching.
Right. Did you
he
like
made his way up.
Yeah, nice guy.
Did you think he could be a head coach
Well,
one
it
day?
wasn't even in the consideration because he wasn't there.
Yeah, just not.
Yeah, he was there with the kids helping, kicking and handballing, not like the nuts and bolts of game
I loved
style,
Uze
man.
as a player.
Yeah.
I was one of my absolute favourites.
The bloke who wears tights when he plays basketball likes the bloke who wore a long sleeve jumper and white boots.
There you go.
Has that been discussed yet? How Jaden Stevenson's going to go next year if he can never wear a long sleeve jumper under Clarko?
Oh, yes.
They're
good
out.
point.
Yeah.
I reckon that's the least of Jaden's problems.
He's the least of Jaden's.
All right, so Ross Lyon, Leon Cameron, Adam Uze, or Coach X. Who you taking? Go. You're the panel.
I'm the boss.
I'm going Uze.
Ross the boss?
Yeah.
Uze?
I'm going Uze. You can't, I think we've had this conversation. I think it was on the other side of it back then, but how many coaches with that much head coaching experience come back and do it again?
For sheer drama, I want it to be Ross.
Yeah, or just have Ross back in.
Are there enough people over there that aren't rowing his boat?
Ross?
Yeah, the absolute opposite direction to rowing
I know.
Ross's boat.
It's a bit,
is that what you're hearing? There's enough people soiling.
Oh, there always is
the
with Ross.
reputation.
That's what happened to Carlton.
Yeah.
Right? He was in front of the queue, and there's enough people that don't like Ross that push it one way.
Yeah.
And then there's a few people who do and push it
And then
as hard as they can.
Too hard.
It goes in the too hard basket.
It's normally at the board level where there's not as many footy people making the decision.
Yeah.
There's a bit more of a discussion.
Correct.
Next is, where are we up to? GWS.
So just quickly go back to the All-Australian. Was the greatest miss by those on the All-Australian panel putting Josh Kelly in the 44-man
Was he not in the
squad?
44?
No, he was. He
Yeah.
finished 8th
Yeah, he was
in their best and fairest.
Yeah, there was a few misses with that squad.
How is he in the squad? He finished 8th, even to his own admissions, you'd say.
If you only watched, there was like 5 games where he was an absolute stud. And if you only watch those,
you're watching 22.
Yeah, but no, a lot of
I
them
got
are-
plenty
I
of
don't
issues with
know.
that squad.
Like
you have a lot
Josh
of issues
Kelly's
with
the
it?
one that was,
At least 5.
and I'm a Josh Kelly man.
Wait, 22 or the 44?
44.
Oh,
was
yeah,
it?
okay.
I thought the 22 was pretty close.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
44, I just thought there were some omissions. And I think, I know it doesn't really matter if they're not in the team, but the 44 does matter. It actually really matters because it gives that, I was pretty close, like Sam Doherty not being in that 44.
Nah.
I don't understand.
Well, there you go. There's one side of the coin. So Josh Kelly, who's a star, and he's had an ordinary year.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
the
be,
coach stands up and goes, All Australian squad's out, guys. Sam Taylor, congratulations to you.
Yeah, everyone goes, that's about right.
Josh Kelly, congratulations to you. And you're like, well, hang on.
Yeah,
what are you watching?
Yeah.
Anyway, Sam Taylor, BNF as well.
Congratulations.
And All-Australian.
Congratulations for you.
Yeah, that was handy.
Big one.
Anyway, so where do we see Sammy Taylor? Like, all of a sudden, if the Giants don't get it right,
he signed a very long deal last year.
And good coin, too.
5 years,
I think
6 years.
Good coin.
What coin do you say, like, to recruit in a fullback? I suppose it's been done.
I think it was 700-ish.
Brian Lake, etc.
Stephen May.
I don't think he's a really quiet, considered kid.
I had him above Norton in the draft, and I still...
He's phenomenal. Those
in the draft, they were both the same year. Norton was a defender. Sam Taylor was a defender. Both had pretty average kicks, styles.
Taylor really dour sort of defender, but
you couldn't see Serge being the number one intercept player in the comp.
You just can't beat him. You can't beat him.
Nah.
Like we've seen, I think he's the best defender in the competition.
Yeah, right.
If I had to choose, and with his age as well.
Yeah, the age demo puts him in there.
And he's the world's most solid citizen. He's a nice kid. So you're getting the whole package with this kid. You're not getting any red flags at all.
No, absolutely no doubt that there'll be no controversy in his life.
None.
But he's the best. There's different categories of defenders, right? But he's the best, like, pure defender.
Yeah,
like,
if you just like, I don't want that forward to kick a single goal tonight.
Sam Taylor.
That's Sam Taylor.
I'm thinking about the Sam Taylor controversy, right? He's on the footy trip. It's his first time ever overseas. Someone's put 2 shots in his vodka. He's a non-drinker.
That's what happens.
Asleep on a park
he has 3 wine coolers, and someone finds him outside
sleeping somewhere.
Yeah, the Mirage or whatever it is.
Taylor off the rails. He's like, "Now I've literally had my first ever drink."
We're on to West Coast. So I think this Rioli stuff is like a clear test of what they're doing. Like, are they actually committed to a rebuild? Because if there's clubs who come in, like we spoke about before, and said, here's a second rounder or something for Rioli.
Yeah.
If you're actually rebuilding, which they've said sometimes, but also not said other times, like, you have to kind of take that, don't you? He's at the right age. Like, he's probably not going to be there for the next flag.
He's 25.
But he's in that middle age.
At the most.
Yeah, I still think he's pretty
not older
right.
than 26. And he's not old in footy years. Because you got to remember,
he's missed a lot.
Well, he missed.
He's played 2 seasons.
He missed 2 years, and he didn't debut till he was 21.
Yeah,
20?
I just think
he's 27, 28 next season.
If someone's putting that money on the table and giving you a decent pick for it,
this is why I brought the Georgiades thing out, because I was like, if you can maximise
the put her in the conversation for Rioli,
and you can go. Well,
and just quickly clarify, Junior again.
Yeah,
someone's like, this Junior Rioli's might Cyril no longer Willie's spoken about for a couple of years.
Yeah, right. For a year. For 12 months, he'll be Junior Rioli. Yeah, while he's grieving his father. So I think if you can maximise it, yes. But I don't think, mate, a second round pick, which Port don't have, by the way. So if it is Port, you can't get that anyway because you've already got it.
Can you get another future? Can you just get long-term futures?
Just keep getting futures?
You could get futures.
Yeah, it's only the first round where there's like restraints around futures, right?
If you can get a late first.
You're not getting a late first
for Rioli.
But I'm talking like pick 17, 18. You know what I mean?
No,
like if one of the elite teams comes to you and goes, hey, we really want a small forward, can we give you 17 for him?
Yeah, okay.
That's you do. But if you're getting picked 35, 36, where's the value?
No, but I'm thinking of a second rounder in the late 20s.
But even then, what are you getting at 28, 29? That's a shot in the dark, right? This guy, when he's going, is, I think, in the best 3 or 4 small forwards.
He's missed 2 years of footy.
Exactly.
And then injured.
So
the game goes, mate.
Yeah, but you need time. So he's had 2 years of footy out. He plays this season. He's, all things considered, 2 years this year. He's played pretty well. He's played pretty well, considering he's missed for 2 years. All right? Ooh. He's been okay. It hasn't been a disaster.
Let's say you've gone back from good, really good,
not
was
a disaster.
Wasn't a disaster. Wasn't a disaster.
Jeez, that flowchart.
I'm not against trading him. I just think that if you're going to do that, it has to be for something good. A pick in the mid to late 20s is a shot in the dark, right? You've already got.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you got to take 5. If you're going through a rebuild process, you got to take 5 of them between like 20 and 30.
What's Liam Ryan's age?
He'd be slightly younger than.
Yeah.
So he'd be another one.
You'd throw off first, that.
I don't know. I have concerns about whether they actually can do a rebuild and commit to one.
I think they're going to try to do both at the same time.
Yeah, which I think is going to hurt. It's just going to prolong. It's kind of like the end of Clarko's tenure
let's get
at Hawthorn.
To North Melbourne. Hang on, let's get to North Melbourne because it's almost.
We're on to North Melbourne.
Right, North Melbourne. What does Clarko start with? As we're saying, it's the rebuild, but then you've got Goldstein, Zeeble.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tarrant left last year, obviously.
Yep.
What is he? Does he need to toughen him up first? We had the reports of Noble having to apologise after a spray early. You've got some vulnerable.
No one's telling Clarko to apologise.
But you've got some vulnerable. You've got some vulnerable souls there.
Yeah.
Jaden Stevenson to me looks vulnerable.
Yeah.
Taron Thomas looks vulnerable. Like there's
the difference between Noble and Clarko is that. So Clarko will be able to do whatever he wants, tear shreds, have everyone over for,
but obviously
play whatever he wants.
A bit of AC-doocy, all that sort of stuff.
But Noble didn't have that leash, right? So if Jaden Stevenson goes to the CEO and goes, I'm a bit upset because Clarko yelled at me, he'll go, well, that's it, mate. Deal with it.
And get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
So
now
I'd love to take it up with you, but Clarko's going to yell at me.
Yeah.
So you're on your own.
Clarko once marched the CEO out of the office and get out. I don't want you to be
that
seen
conversation's just not happening. So I think the first thing is the tough thing. And there's already talk he wants to bring in Liam Shields, maybe.
So you keep Goldstein, you keep Zeeble for a year.
Yeah.
Because they are the tougher...
Yeah, bigger bodies.
In terms of,
and I think they've got enough of a weight of young talent where they can hold.
And they're going to bring in more too. They're going to bring in another high pick. So you get that. You're going to bring even their second round pick is a pretty high one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they spat something off. Who knows what it would be to get another one in.
Do whatever you can to get as much in right now.
Horn Francis.
What?
Can you see where he goes in this period?
If I'm Clarko, I mean, you know him better than I would be making sure that he is a priority. Like as in this kid. The talent level that he has
to sign or to
get him to commit to be a North Melbourne guy and to go.
So what if he
just say to him, mate, I'm here for 5.
Yeah,
let's commit to each other here. That I'm going to turn you into a Brownlow medalist or as close as I can get you. If you just commit.
So what happens if Port Adelaide come to I was going to say Hawthorn, North Melbourne, and go, we want Horn Francis. Here's Mitch Georgiades. Here's our first pick. Are you going, righto, this is business? If Horn Francis goes,
no, I don't think
I can't commit. I can't commit in this trade period.
If he says I'm definitely not staying, I might.
No, but he was very wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
It has to be a firm. Just so you know, in 9 months, I'm going.
Yeah.
So do whatever you need to do. But
I mean, that would be a tough conversation.
Play me in the VFL all you want. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. You don't have that conversation with Clarko.
You go into telling you're leaving in 9 months, walk out with 5-year contracts on.
What happened here?
Like, Mum, I don't know what happened, but I'm staying.
But they said you can move over if you want.
All right. Well, that's us. Anything else to table for the end of this?
And we haven't done West.
We've done West Coast.
We did West Coast, yes.
Are we still sponsored by Mazda?
Yeah, BT50.
Yeah, I bought a Mazda.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get that pay
Kel
rise?
wanted a new car. No. No pay rise. Just apparently I'm just working forever
hard.
now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
but got a Mazda.
What'd you get?
No discount, despite the podcast. Would have thought that would be
Mate should have rolled it out.
Did you not have someone?
No, I don't have.
What's going on? They've got this hat for free. We mentioned Stay Kill.
So, if you want cherry tomatoes, Mount Claremont Markets.
But they were very good at Mazda. They're very good.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't give you a discount.
Real pleasure to deal with. I wouldn't have taken one anyway.
No,
I don't do that stuff.
I'm a mercenary. I would have.
Next week he'll come back and the Mazda's got a big
He'll be wearing
Morley Mazda on the side of it.
The t-shirt.
All right, this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show, completely packed for work in the weekend. This podcast is brought to you by the new Mazda BT50 SP. It's a complete package. We'll see you next time.